Okay, the sad story behind the bamboo, and I'm really saddened by it, is that a lot of these men have not worked bamboo in more than 40 years. Ever since we fled and came to America, because they didn't have access to the bamboo. Because back in the old days, they would say, "Oh, I need a basket. I'm going to go into the forest and I'm going to go cut bamboo. And I'm going to come home." And the men, they will make a huge pile of bamboo strippings, and then they all sit together as a group of men, and then they will weave the baskets together. And so it's very communal, very group oriented. And so a lot of the men, when I said we're going to buy bamboo, they're like, "Wow, I haven't done this in 40 years because I never had access to raw bamboo, the raw materials." And so they're like, I will remember how to do it, but to be honest, I haven't done it in so long." And that's the sad thing for me, is because these things that they did as part of everyday life, and we took that away from them because of our migration, because of exile, because of being refugees. That was taken from them of who their identity is. And that, I think, goes to a lot of the depression and sadness and isolation that I think a lot of Hmong men feel, because they come to this country and the things that they've always done, hunting, fishing, making the bamboo, they can't do that anymore. Protecting their families, they can't do that anymore. So I'm trying to give back to them as much as I can of things that are important to them. That's what we do gardening too, but gardening is now commonplace and everyone does it, but to them, and one thing that we did in the back, and this year we didn't, but we grew rice, in the backyard. It never has enough time to, ripen, but we grow it, and they're so happy. It's like, "Oh wow, this is a real rice field," and it makes us so happy that we are back. And then they go and they play the flute in the field, they sing their song in the field, and I'm like, "Oh wow." It's so simple that you just give back a little piece of their memory. You give them past a little bit of their identity, where they can feel really proud of who they are, the life that they've led. So that's the sad source of the bamboo and the gar making, because that's, again, like I said, a man's role, or what the things that they've done, and now not being able to do it, or not having access to all that resource and the materials. So it was hard for us, and it's still hard for us, because again, like I told Lee, there's just so many bamboos, I'm learning a lot about bamboos. There's the small kind, the big kind, the fibrous kind. There's just so many types. And so we're gonna plug our way through it with what we have, which is a start. But as we continue, I think the more we will know what's available. Like, for example, we ordered bamboo online, and the elders didn't like it because they're like, "Oh, it's not what we need. The way that it's cut, the way that it's been made, the way that it's been processed at the manufacturing houses, it's not going to make what we want." So I'm like, "Okay, fine. So how can we get access to real bamboo?" So then, wow, right? We have cousins and relatives that live in North Carolina, that Georgia, that are always bringing up the bamboo shoot. And so we called one of our friends, and she cut the bamboos from her backyard and sent it to us. And so a lot of the elders are, the men are cutting that, and Lee took some videos of that, and we can do that too for you all later on. But we still have the raw bamboo, and they've been cutting it into strip, which is the first time I've ever saw bamboo being cut into strips. And I'm like, wow, it's amazing. And it does, one little cut does create a bamboo strip. I'm like, it's amazing. But then they say it's not the right bamboo because it's too hard. It's not the fibrous kind, and it's not the big giant bamboo, because they know that when they're going to make basket, they have to go cut the big bamboo that's this big, and then it's more bendable or mendable. So in order to make it mendable, we had to boil it. I'm like, oh, wait, I didn't know you can boil bamboo, but okay. I mean, the hard sticks. So there's a lot of process and to catch, but the men are so happy to do it because they, again, like I said, they haven't done it in more than 40 years.
Yeah. And so you kind of touched on it, but like, how does the art helping the bandao, the basket making help the elders and
Yeah. I think all of these projects just goes to highlight that the elders have so much information, knowledge about who we are, or what we are, We have to pull it out of them. We have to create spaces for them to showcase and be able to share their knowledge and expertise and experience. And a lot of times they won't say that they're experts. They won't say that. But look at this, right? This is expert work. It's so beautiful. Um, it's unique. They're the ones that can do it, and the idea is that we can praise them, we can honor them for their talent, their expertise, resources, and even something that they think is so simple, making a basket. How many people know how to make a basket, right? So they have to embrace their talent. They have to embrace what's unique about them, and I tell them they have to share it. They have to share that knowledge. They can't complain that, oh, young people don't know how to be Hmong. Well, you never really taught us. You never really showed us. And now this is your opportunity to show us, to claim that, so that we can be proud of you and you can be proud of who you are. And hopefully be in a way where young and old can connect, where the young people can see this artwork and be proud that their grandpa made it, their dad made it, and that has value.